left. You ain't going nowhere.
They're treating us like that we're animals, dogs. Well, we aren't. We're American citizens.
So I took care of
Right,
my
why did
end.
Chloe get you a room?
Because you got me a house and you never told me that the house had limited boarding.
Morin coins in some critical writing the term cinema verite, or cinema of truth, which often gets misinterpreted. It's, in a sense, an homage to the work of Dziga Vertov, the Russian filmmaker who had coined the term kino pravda, meaning also the truth of cinema. In both cases, they're meaning not that the film is showing us the truth, but the film provokes its own kind of truth, that within the film we see a kind of truth emerging.
As Professor Faye Ginsberg discusses, cinema verite is a documentary filmmaking technique coined in the 1960s by Jean Rouch, who was a French filmmaker and anthropologist inspired by Dziga Vertov's theory of kino pravda. Since the works of Vertov and Rouch, though, the term cinema verite has evolved into a widely popular technique known as direct cinema, used today in many documentaries and reality television shows. Since the introduction of this revolutionary tool, though, cinema verite has become less effective and truthful. As we explore the pros and cons of cinema verite, this conclusion shall be made clearer and clearer. This documentary style has allowed viewers to see a sort of truth behind the people displayed on screen. John Ellis highlights in his book Documentary Witness and Self-Revelation that unlike actors who memorize scripts and don't generate everyday conversations and their imperfections, cinema verite focuses on the raw footage revealing itself before your very eyes, allowing for a more personal approach where viewers can actually relate or connect with the people and the film itself. Cinema verite, especially in its modern form, unfortunately though, encourages false perceptions of character due to the presence of the camera, one major con or flaw of this film technique. In the book A New History of Documentary Film, Jack Ellis points out the fact that the filmmaker ultimately shapes and refines the presentation of real life and people through the careful selection and arrangement of clips shot. He focuses on the example of the series An American Family, which aired in 1973, raised questions such as, did the Loud family behave differently than they would have if the camera and mic had not been there, or were they performing for it? These questions were because viewers were disappointed when a particular scene came across lacking drama and climax, making the scene seem staged when it was commonly seen in the viewer's idea of reality to react in a more dramatic way. Really though, many modern-day reality shows today stir false perceptions of people's characters. A strong documentary or television show captures the viewer's attention, penetrating their emotions and moving their soul. Cinema verite allows people to identify with real-life situations and can affect them emotionally because of the real situations happening on screen. In Documentary Witness and Self-Revelation, Ellis points out, though, that this film method can often lead to the exploitation of the people seen on film, shaming, embarrassing, or even incriminating them by framing their mistakes. Since cinema verite consists of raw footage and interviews, many can conclude that what they see on screen is what is truth, that they are accurate since it wasn't a fraction of the filmmaker's mind, or that it wasn't a reenactment. It is what is before you right here and now. However, the fly-on-the-wall film approach, as Dave Saunders describes it as in the Routledge Film Guidebooks documentary, often comes across as altering or stretching reality or truth, unpleasantly representing anything but a reflection of found reality. Rather, it depicts more of a social experiment, focusing on the gossip, sex, and scandalous lives of those in the frame, anything to attract the shock factor. Therefore, it's a shallow, modified representation of truth.